Deadpool 2 once again stars Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth, who this time around is bringing together a team known as the X-Force to try to help save a mutant kid who's in danger of being killed by the time-traveling mutant Cable, played by Josh Brolin, because this is apparently his year. I'm a massive fan of the Deadpool character, as well as the first film. I thought that was a very straightforward, simple, extremely exciting, hilarious, subversive comic book movie, and one that I had been wanting to see for a very long time. But the director of that film has left the franchise, and the second film is being helmed by the man behind American Blonde and tons of incredible Hollywood stunts for many years. He's known for crafting extremely great action scenes, and Deadpool 2 is filled with them. This movie is a blast to watch in regards to action, that's for sure. In particular, a white-knuckled chase scene in this film that rivals the highway chase that started the first. And as per usual with the Deadpool character, this film is very, very funny. Tons of jokes. Not all of them land, as usual with a comedy, but most of them do, because this character is so endearing despite being so loudmouth and annoying. But this film actually does something I didn't expect. It definitely tries to bring Deadpool down to earth a little bit. It explores more of Wade Wilson and less of Deadpool. We get some pretty extended sequences where he's not in his costume dealing with some issues that happen. And it definitely makes him a more compelling character with a deeper side to him. But I suppose my biggest issue with the film, if I were to pinpoint one, it's that sometimes that humanizing element with Wade Wilson comes off as an attempt to give us an excuse to create the X-Force, which will then lead to more franchise possibilities. Because in the first film, one of the things I loved about Deadpool was that he was so against teaming up. He was just his own guy. There was nobody else like him. He didn't want to start teams or become part of the Avengers or become part of X-Men. He just wanted to do his own thing. And in this film, they have to kind of tweak that a little bit because they want to go forth with the X-Force possibilities. And so they are able to find compelling ways of making Wade Wilson seem more like a person and making him seem more open to those possibilities. But it sometimes does come off as they're turning the screws a little bit to try to serve the franchise capabilities that Deadpool now has, considering how successful the first one was. But I have a feeling that most people aren't going to look at the film that way, and they're probably just going to enjoy seeing Deadpool team up with other people. The way the X-Force is promoted in the trailers, you just see like shots of Terry Crews and Domino. I did not expect what happens, and I loved it. There's a sequence in this film that is so out of left field, I truly had no idea it was coming, and I thought it was extremely hilarious. This movie does a really good job of subverting expectations while also being a little bit of the same. Sometimes the film can feel like leftovers from the first. It doesn't always feel like we're seeing something particularly fresh or new, especially with the main plot involving protecting a boy from a futuristic killer. We've seen that before in Terminator 2. And so, there were aspects of the plot that felt a little recycled. Brolin as Cable is incredible. He's one of my favorite parts of the film. I wish there was more of him for the first half, but once he does show up, he adds so much. But at the heart of this movie, they're trying to explore a relationship between Wade Wilson and this kid played by Julian Dennison, who I thought was excellent in Hunt for the Wilder People. And here he has a lot of opportunities to really shine. And sometimes this relationship can be a little confusing. I feel like on second viewing, it's going to be so much easier to just sit back and enjoy, and it'll probably improve a little bit. But on first viewing, it felt kind of hard to keep up with because the kid changes his mind way too much. But those are the kind of thoughts you're having as you're watching the film, and once you get to the end and you kind of understand more about his backstory, then those problems kind of just fade away. So expect to maybe be confused about his position, the things he's saying or doing a little bit, but it becomes more clear as the film goes on. And at the same time, he's an adolescent boy, so obviously his emotions are going to be going all over the place, especially once you uncover his past. And so it's not really an issue in the long run for me. It's just something that I noticed while watching it that was definitely improved towards the end. So the action sequences are phenomenal. It's a very funny movie. It's just that sometimes the emotional core can be just a little hollow, especially with a scene that occurs towards the end that just didn't really land for me. It felt just a little too much. I kept waiting for Deadpool to make fun of it, but he didn't. And so that means they were actually really trying to go for it, and it just didn't quite work for me. The emotional side of the movie is there. It's just, it wasn't earned as much as I would have liked it to be. All that being said, this film has the best end credit sequence I have ever seen. Stick around for that shit because it is worth it. Deadpool 2 is a very fun movie. I had a great time with it and I want to see it again. I have a feeling it will improve on multiple viewings, but it's not quite as great as the first film to me. The first film just felt a little more straightforward and more tight. This film has more that it's trying to do, and sometimes it can feel like it's going in multiple directions, and those directions don't always come together. But as a Deadpool fan, I'm satisfied. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see it again. I'm going to give Deadpool 2 a B. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I apologize that I wasn't able to get this review up at the same time everybody else was. I need more time to work on my reviews nowadays because of my schooling, and that's causing some scheduling issues and making things a lot more hectic than they were before. And so, sorry for that, but I'll do my best to get the reviews out as soon as I can in the future. You guys are the best, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmannized.